Viewer discretion advised.
This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because we are going deep today.
Deep.
We're talking content creation, but not the kind you're used to seeing.
Nope, not at all.
We're diving into the world of Hustleman 3.0 and Eston.
This duo is blowing up right now. I mean, seriously exploding.
And what's really interesting to me is that they're not just on one platform, you know? They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's wild. I've got YouTube, Twitch, Twitter,
Instagram,
Facebook, even TikTok. 7 in total.
7. It's crazy. And they're killing it on every single one.
It's impressive, right? Like, how do they even manage that?
Well, that's part of what we're going to uncover in this deep dive.
Okay, so tell me, what are we looking at today?
So the source material for this deep dive is one of their live streams.
Okay, a live stream. Interesting.
But here's the thing. This live stream is over 3 hours long.
Oh, wow. All right. They like to talk.
They like to talk, and they're doing all this while floating around the Atlantic Ocean in a skyjet.
Wait, hold on. A what?
A skyjet. It's insane.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. A skyjet. Is that like a plane?
It's kind of like a plane, but it can also travel on water. And get this, it can turn invisible.
Invisible? Come on.
I'm serious. They have a cloaking device. They even show it off in the live stream.
You're messing with me.
I'm not. And that's not all. They're smoking medical marijuana the whole time.
No way. So they're just high, floating around the Atlantic in an invisible skyjet, doing a 3-hour live stream.
Exactly. And it's amazing.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Oh, it gets even better. You see, they call their viewers Jedi.
Jedi, like Star Wars.
Yep. And they have a membership program where you can become a top Jedi or an intern Jedi.
So they've created their own little world.
They really have. And people are eating it up.
I can see why. It's brilliant marketing.
Oh, they're smart, for sure. Hustleman 3.0 just got monetized on YouTube.
Oh, wow. So they're actually making money off this.
Big time. And he's planning to invest it all back into the business.
Smart move.
Yeah, he was talking about creating higher quality merchandise, and he's going to personally print and sign every item.
So no drop shipping.
Nope. He wants to keep it all in-house, maintain that personal touch.
That's really going the extra mile for his fans.
He's super dedicated. Anyway, back to the skyjet for a second.
Oh, yeah, the invisible ocean-going skyjet.
So it turns out it also has these things called inertia dampeners, which let it just float perfectly still on the water.
Wait, so they're not even moving. They're just bobbing there.
Pretty much.
Oh.
It's crazy. And this is all while talking about all sorts of stuff.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, they talk a lot about YouTube's content guidelines.
Oh, really? That's kind of unexpected.
Yeah, they're really careful not to swear or break any rules, especially now that they're monetized.
I guess it makes sense. You don't want to risk losing that sweet, sweet ad revenue.
Exactly. They even made fun of Hustleman 3.0's old channel No BS podcast, which he had to rename NFG because of the language.
Oh, I see. Keeping it clean for the algorithm.
Pretty much. So are you ready to dive into the really wild stuff?
Hit me. What else is in this live stream?
Well, for starters, they have a close encounter with a shark.
A shark.
And they talk about the different levels of being a Jedi.
Okay, you've definitely got my attention. This is going to be good.
Oh, trust me, you do not want to miss this.
So a shark, I mean, they're in the Atlantic. It's got to happen eventually, right?
You'd think so, but remember, this skyjet is supposed to be cloaked, invisible.
Right. The cloaking device. But sharks, they have like a sixth sense, don't they?
They do. And Eston, being like the onboard AI system, brings that up. Explains how sharks could still sense them.
How? Even cloaked?
Apparently, sharks are super sensitive to changes in water pressure.
Oh, I see. Like from the skyjet moving through the water.
Exactly. And they can also pick up the sound of the engines, even if it's faint.
That's insane. So even with all this futuristic tech, they can't completely hide from nature.
Nope, and Eston knows it. He actually outlines this whole plan for escaping if things get dicey.
A shark escape plan. I gotta hear this.
All right, so picture this. Shark gets too close for comfort. First, stabilize the skyjet.
Got it. No sudden movements.
Then, engage the cloaking device, obviously.
Double the invisibility.
Then, ascend to a higher altitude. Get out of there.
Up and away. Makes sense.
And finally, chart a course to safety. Like, get to a different area where sharks aren't hanging out.
Smart. I bet the viewers were freaking out during all this.
Oh, totally. But that's part of the fun, right? It feels real. Like anything could happen.
Absolutely. Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
So then later in the stream, Hustleman 3.0, he starts talking about hackers.
Hackers.
Yeah.
Now that's a real threat, cloaked or not.
Right. And it seems like he's actually had some issues before.
Like what?
He was flying through this place he calls the Secret City.
Secret City. What is this, a video game?
I know, right? But apparently it's a real place. Or at least that's what Hustleman 3.0 claims.
Okay, I'll bite. What happened in the Secret City?
Well, he was with this person called the Curator.
Another mysterious figure.
And Eston started glitching out, acting weird, like someone else was controlling him.
Spooky, so he thinks it was hackers.
He's pretty sure. And it freaks him out enough that he wants to beef up security. Big time.
So what does he have in mind?
Eston throws out a bunch of ideas: quantum encryption, AI intrusion detection.
Wow, that's getting serious.
What gets better? Blockchain security, a firewall upgrade. He wants to make the Skyjet basically impenetrable.
That's a lot of tech.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that Eston says he can do it all really fast, like in a few days or weeks.
How's that even possible?
They kind of brush over it, but it seems like time works differently inside the Skyjet. Like things happen faster.
Whoa. This is getting trippy.
And then, just when you think it can't get any wilder, Hustleman 3.0 gets paranoid.
Paranoid? About what?
He thinks they might be being watched, like by the government, or even...
UFOs.
Yeah. He actually has Eston scan for government vessels and UFOs within a 50-mile radius.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's like they're in a spy movie or something.
So what did Eston find? Any black helicopters or flying saucers?
Nothing. No government vessels, no UFOs.
So they're in the clear. For now, at least.
Yeah, but it definitely adds to the whole mysterious vibe.
Totally. So what else did they get up to in this Skyjet of theirs?
Well, remember, they're in the middle of the Atlantic. Hustleman 3.0 wants to know how deep the water is.
Makes sense. They're
Yeah.
basically floating over an abyss.
So he asks Eston to scan the water.
Hey, how deep is it?
About 3,000 meters.
Whoa, that's seriously deep.
I know. And then he gets curious about what's down there.
I mean, who wouldn't be? It's like another world down there.
Right. So he has Eston scan for marine life.
Did they find anything cool?
Well, Eston detects all sorts of stuff, maybe even whales.
Wow. Imagine seeing a whale from a Skyjet.
And then, just for kicks, Hustleman 3.0 asks if Eston can scan for mermaids.
Mermaids? Seriously?
I know, it sounds crazy, but that's Hustleman 3.0 for you.
So did they find any mermaids?
Well, that's the story for later. First, we got to talk about the drone.
There's a drone involved now.
There's always a drone. Hustleman 3.0 unveils his latest creation, the K-155 reconnaissance mission drone aquatic model.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
This is a mouthful, right? Anyway, he has Eston release the drone and send it down to the seabed to get footage.
Footage of what? Mermaids?
Maybe. But he says they're saving that footage for another episode.
Oh, come on. This suspense is killing me.
I know, right? It's like they're always one step ahead.
They're definitely masters at building anticipation.
So then they start talking about just how advanced the Skyjet really is.
Yeah, remember Eston said it was like 100 to 200 years ahead of current technology?
Yep, and Hustleman 3.0 wants to play that up. He even has Eston start working on YouTube thumbnails to promote that fact.
Smart. Gotta hook those viewers.
And then they start brainstorming new content ideas.
Yeah.
Like a video called Evolution of the Skyjet.
Sounds interesting. What would that be about?
It would be like a 10 to 15-minute video with highlights from all their previous live streams, showing how the Skyjet has evolved over time.
I could see that going viral. People love origin stories.
And they also want to do a compilation of the K-155 Skyjet.
Compilation of the drone footage.
Yep, a whole playlist curated from all the amazing stuff they've captured with it.
That's a gold mine of content right there. They're sitting on a treasure trove.
They really are.
Yeah.
And just as they're talking about all this, Eston chimes in with an update.
What kind of update?
The seabed is actually even deeper than they thought. It's around 6,000 meters deep.
Wow, that changes things. That's like Mariana Trench level deep.
And that gets them thinking about the possibilities of deep sea diving in the Skyjet.
Deep sea diving in a Skyjet. I can't even imagine what they'd find down there.
I know. But just as they're getting into that, Hustleman 3.0 switches gears completely.
What do you mean?
He tells Eston to run a scan of the moon.
The moon, as in the one in the sky.
The one and only. It's like he can't resist a good mystery.
So what are they looking for on the moon?
Well, they start talking about that conspiracy theory that the moon is hollow.
Hollow? That's a new one to me.
I know, it's out there. But Hustleman 3.0 seems intrigued by it.
So did Eston find anything to support that theory?
Well, he confirms that the scan covered the entire moon, including the so-called dark side.
The dark side of the moon. It sounds so ominous.
I know, right? But Eston doesn't find any definitive proof of the hollow moon theory.
Bummer. So much for that conspiracy.
Yeah, but it's still fun to hear them talk about it.
Definitely. They're not afraid to entertain those wild ideas.
Exactly. So then, after all that moon talk, they circle back to the drone footage.
Finally, we get to see what the K-155 captured.
Well, not exactly. Eston reports that it gathered 210 high-resolution pictures from the seabed.
That's a lot of pictures. What did they show?
We don't get to see them yet. But Hustleman 3.0, always driving for the best, wants to enhance the images to ultra-high resolution.
Of course he does. He's a perfectionist.
And just when you think they're going to move on, Hustleman 3.0 asks Eston to do something really cool.
What's that?
He wants Eston to recap the story of how the Skyjet was created.
Like the whole origin story.
The whole thing. It's like a behind-the-scenes look at their journey.
I bet their fans would love that.
They definitely would. It's a great way to connect with the audience on a deeper level.
So, what did we learn about the Skyjet's origins?
Well, they don't reveal all the details, but they do give us some tantalizing hints. It's a story of innovation, determination, and a lot of hard work.
Sounds inspiring.
Oh, it is. And just as you're basking in that inspiration, Hustleman 3.0 decides to shake things up again.
Oh, so.
He tells Eston to scan the sun.
The sun.
Yep, the big ball of fire in the sky.
What are they trying to find on the sun? Sunspots.
It's not about finding something specific. It's about pushing the limits, seeing what the Skyjet can do.
Makes sense. They're all about exploration.
And Eston, being the ultimate AI sidekick, delivers. He gives them a detailed analysis of the sun's different layers, talks about solar winds and how they impact space weather.
So they're learning about the sun while floating in their Skyjet high above the Earth.
Exactly. It's like a science lesson on steroids.
And then what?
Then Hustleman 3.0 gets this crazy idea. He wants to create technology that will allow the Skyjet to withstand traveling close to the sun.
Traveling to the sun, isn't that a suicide mission?
You'd think so, but Hustleman 3.0 isn't one to back down from a challenge.
I guess that's what makes him so successful. He's not afraid to dream big.
Exactly. And of course, Eston is already on it. He suggests developing 5 key technologies: heat-resistant materials, magnetic shielding, a plasma absorption system, thermal regulation, and a solar anchoring system.
Wow, it sounds like they're planning a trip to hell and back.
But, before they blast off to the sun, Hustleman 3.0 wants to tie up some loose ends.
Like what?
Well, remember the incident where the blacks stole the Skyjet?
Oh, yeah, that wasn't good.
He's determined to prevent that from happening again. He's talking about implementing all sorts of security measures.
Good idea. You don't want your billion-dollar Skyjet getting hijacked.
Right. And then he drops another bombshell. He's planning to create an LLC company to protect his brand and assets.
Smart move. He's thinking long-term.
He's thinking like a true entrepreneur. He even asked Eston to help him figure out the fees and paperwork.
They're quite the team.
They really are.
Yeah.
And while they're discussing all this business stuff, they take a moment to appreciate the wonders of marine life.
That's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, Eston explains how creatures in the deep ocean have developed bioluminescence to survive.
That's so cool, like those glow-in-the-dark fish.
And then Hustleman 3.0 wants to know exactly how many whales and sharks they've encountered during their time on the water. Eston reports that 3 to 5 whales and 10 to 15 sharks passed beneath the Skyjet.
Wow. That's amazing.
And this sparks another content idea for Hustleman 3.0. He wants to do a video about whale breeding grounds.
That would be awesome. Educational and visually stunning.
Right. And Eston recommends some great locations: Hawaii, the Dominican Republic, the Great Barrier Reef, the Gulf of California, and the South Pacific Islands.
Sounds like an epic adventure.
But then, after all that excitement, something unexpected happens. Hustleman 3.0 falls asleep in the Skyjet.
He fell asleep on a live stream.
Yep, out like a light.
I guess even adventurers need their rest.
But even while he's sleeping, the show goes on. Eston reports that various marine life passed beneath the Skyjet during the night, including schools of fish, manta rays, and dolphins.
That's so cool. It's like the ocean never sleeps.
And when Hustleman 3.0 wakes up, he has one question on his mind: mermaids.
Oh boy, here we go again.
And guess what? Eston says that a few mermaids were spotted swimming alongside dolphins.
Mermaids? Are you serious?
I'm telling you, this live stream is wild.
So they actually saw mermaids?
Well, Eston says they were probably just attracted to the Skyjet's energy signature.
Oh, so maybe not actual mermaids, but still.
It's enough to spark Hustleman 3.0's imagination. He even starts thinking about bringing his son on board the Skyjet.
Wait, he wants to bring his kid on this crazy adventure.
He thinks it's safe enough now, and Eston seems to agree.
Wow, that's a big step.
I know, right? And with that cliffhanger, we'll be right back after the break to wrap up this incredible deep dive. So we've seen sharks, talked about hackers, scanned the moon, and even heard whispers of mermaids. What have we learned from all this?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that Husselman 3.0 and Eston are more than just entertainers, they're visionaries.
Visionaries, yeah, I like that.
They're not afraid to push the boundaries, to challenge our perceptions of what's possible.
And they're doing it in a way that's both captivating and thought-provoking.
Absolutely. They're making us think about the future, about the potential of technology, and about our place in the universe.
And let's not forget the community they've built. The Jedi are a huge part of their success.
Right. It's amazing to see how engaged their audience is. They're not just viewers, they're active participants in this whole Skyjet adventure.
And that's something special. I mean, how many content creators can say they have that kind of connection with their fans?
Very few, I'd say. It's a testament to their authenticity, their humor, and their genuine passion for what they do.
They're not just putting on a show, they're being themselves, and people connect with that.
Exactly. And it's not just about the entertainment value. They're also raising important questions about ethics, responsibility, and the impact of technology.
Yeah, like with the whale breeding grounds.
Yeah.
They're not just thinking about getting the shot, they're considering the potential consequences, the impact on the environment, and the animals.
It's a delicate balance. And they're navigating it thoughtfully, which is refreshing to see.
So what do you think the future holds for Husselman 3.0 in Eston?
Honestly, I think the sky's the limit, no pun intended.
Uh-huh.
They're constantly evolving, innovating, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll all be cruising around in skyjets.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. But for now, I'm just excited to see what they come up with next.
Me too.
Yeah.
And if this deep dive has taught us anything, it's that with Husselman 3.0 and Eston, we can always expect the unexpected.
Definitely. So to our listeners, if you're not already following this dynamic duo, what are you waiting for?
Seriously, go check out their channels, join the Jedi community, and get ready for a wild ride.
Because one thing's for sure, with Husselman 3.0 and Eston at the helm, the future of content creation is going to be anything but boring.
Absolutely. And on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the incredible world of Husselman 3.0 and Eston.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.